Fit in 10 Nation is day 52, and hopefully you've been able to book in some times this week to get in your workout. I know that it's a little bit different not having me there per se. I am trying to be there early in the mornings and in the evenings as well. Ken is going to be in the evenings, to offer some sort of guidance. I mean, we're not supposed to be running classes, so we can't really give the perception that we're running a class. So please make sure you watch the YouTube videos that I post daily regarding the workouts, and just get in and do them, okay? And please don't pick like 3 upper body workouts to do. Okay, so now you have a chance to basically pick your 3 that you're going to do, right? Because I'm going to post 5 per week, and you can see what they are, and you'll see them somewhat in advance. So just make sure you get in, and you get 3 workouts in. Really finish off strong here. The weight training is really, really important. I understand if you absolutely don't want to use the gym, you're scared, or maybe you work in the health profession, you have to make this switch. Then I'm certainly not going to try to persuade you. But if you're not, I'm going to really encourage you to make it in. Please don't make that decision just because we're not there. Okay. Also, as a reminder, all the movements that you do in the gym, well, maybe I shouldn't say all of them, but like your squats and your presses, try to do them inside the cage, so at least you have those safeties to help you should you by chance be in there by yourself. Okay, so it's just for added safety, right? So if you're squatting, make sure the safeties are set high enough so that if you fail, you can just fall onto them. Likewise with your pressing, you can set them so basically at the bottom you're basically right on the safeties, okay? Or maybe the safeties are just a little bit high, so you're going to come down and touch the safeties and then press back up. Listen, tomorrow in terms of pressing, you're going to be doing dumbbell presses, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, anything else I wanted to say? We're hoping that we'll get classes up and running. I don't know. I think our classes, to be honest with you, the way we have it, I think they're quite safe. They may say to us we have to run smaller groups or something, but in terms of the classes actually running, you're pretty much stationary at your cage, and you guys are spread out pretty good. So I don't know, but I can't see them having as much of an issue with our classes, say many other types of classes that are out there. But we'll see. Okay, we're going to try to get in touch with a medical officer, and hopefully we can get clearance. All right, questions here. Well, listen, why don't I just hop right into a supplement? Because I talked about this last week, and it's not really one per se that I would recommend that you take. It's certainly not like a fish oil. Fish oil is really foundational, or a glutamine. I honestly think those are pretty foundational. I would recommend those. But this is a pre-workout. This is a non-stimulant based pre-workout. There's different kinds of pre-workouts. You can actually use this pre and during workout. And essentially what it is it's an ammonia buffer, a lactic acid buffer. Actually, lactic acid is really not the correct terminology. It's what breaks off of lactic acid. That's what needs to get buffered. A few other components in here that will help with muscular stamina. So this is one that I use. There is a product in here called beta-alanine, and so if you do choose to ever use this product, you might notice some tingling in your ears. It's a weird sensation of tingling in your face. That's a normal side effect, if you want to call it that, of that particular ingredient. But this is really, really good. If you do want something that will give you a little bit of a boost in the gym, this is a really, really great product. And like I said, there's 0 stimulants in this. You're not going to get any jittery kind of effect from it. It will not keep you up at night, nothing like that. So definitely worth it. This type of pre-workout is actually, really one I think is got some good value, especially with the beta alanine that's in here and the L-citrulline malate, and actually many other things, to be honest. Okay, so Opus. This is the one I was talking about last week. All right, how to keep shoulders down during raises. I'm assuming you mean side raises. So like when you're raising up, maybe you're talking about like shrugging up as you're raising up. So the idea here is that we want to keep the arm internally rotated. So you have the ability to externally and internally rotate the arm. Now as I internally rotate, it looks like my shoulder comes up. It's actually not coming up, it's just rotating around. So the muscle on the side is now coming up, so it looks like it's elevated. But yes, you have the ability to actually push that shoulder up even higher, right? And that's coming from the scapula. The scapula is being essentially raised in an upward fashion. So you can actually do the reverse of that, right? You can depress it down, right? This is the action that we do on a press. Sorry, it's not the action that you do on a press, it's the action that I want you to try to do as you're pressing. Same idea when you're doing a side raise. Try to push the shoulder blade down as you're raising up to the side so that you don't do this as you're raising up, right? You're not trying to do that shrugging motion, okay? Same with when you do like a supine row or a wide arm row, okay, where we're rowing out like this. And sometimes the shoulders want to shrug up. We just want to keep those shoulders packed down, okay? So we're doing that supine row or wide arm row and keeping the shoulders depressed, okay? The same depression that you do in a press, in a chest press or an incline press. So hopefully that answers your question. Again, the internal rotation is separate from the upward and downward motion of the shoulder, okay? Those are two separate things. 7 minutes. Okay. Well, I can't even remember anything. I just wrote this too. How to keep... What? All right. I can't even read that. Oh, how to keep meals exciting. Well, I would switch them up, to be honest with you. I would just switch them up. Look for recipes. Try some of the recipes that are in the booklet that I gave you. I know there's not an extensive list there. Or try some of the recipes that we send out regularly to you. Some of them are going to be a little more friendly. Maybe some of them won't be perhaps totally appropriate, depending on like the carb and fat and protein levels. But that's what I would do. For me, I basically have like a repertoire of, like literally 12 meals that I like to eat. And I look forward to them. And I know that doesn't work for everybody. So you just have to find, switch things up, switch up condiments, or switch up different seasonings, or different mixtures, or different vegetables. That's what I'm going to recommend to you, okay? Even just implementing things like, a low-fat cheese into something like a Parmesan cheese can make a big difference. Yeah, that's really what I recommend there. So in terms of like making batches, I don't know if you're able to do like a batch of like the same meals over a couple days and then switch up the meals to something else. Because it gets to be a lot of work if you're constantly making a new meal every night from scratch. I mean, if you have the time and the energy, then do it. But some people don't. I know a lot of people don't. My suggestion would be to try to make something where you're going to get a few servings out of it, and maybe make 4 different dishes or 5 different dishes where you're going to get 3 or 4 servings out of it, and then you're good for at least a couple days, and then redo that. You should be able to handle I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's unfair for me to say this, but I think you should be able to repeat meals for just a couple days, and then go on to something different. That is my recommendation. Okay. But there's got to be some things that, like, are there not some meals that you like to have regularly? I don't know. For me, there always is. I know I've been having like one of my favorite breakfasts is that the egg and oatmeal mixture with fruit that I have. Like I cook dry oatmeal and egg together. I just nuke it and then I mash in either like a chopped up Granny Smith apple or a banana, and then I add some cinnamon or something like that, and then some yogurt on top, and I never get tired of it. I've been having that for like 20 plus years, and I never get tired of it. But that's just me. So, okay, I really want to answer this next question. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow, I guess. Message of the day. Message of the day is there are no losses, there are only lessons. Listen, quite often we don't want to lose on anything. I've only had one person actually in the challenge who refused to get any more scans after their second one. This one person did their second scan. They didn't do very well, and it bothered them so much that they just wouldn't do the next one. And I'm going to really encourage you hopefully not think this way, but I don't know the way your mind ticks, and I certainly don't know what perhaps maybe in your life has led up to being very fearful of, falling into what you might consider to be failures. But like, you have to understand that like not doing well or what you might consider as not doing well is like kind of part of the process. Like sometimes it does go smoothly and that's great, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. Like that's all part of the process. Nobody goes through life trying all kinds of different things, because I think ultimately we probably should try a bunch of different things, because it's you're on this earth, you might as well be trying different things, right? To experience life to some degree. Maybe I'm not the best example of that. And some things you're gonna take to and some things you won't, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them, right? Or you shouldn't try to do them, or that there's anything wrong with not doing well at them in the beginning. I think that's just part and parcel. That's part and parcel for many things that you're going to end up doing. It's normal, right? Even the people that have changed life in the way that we live. Okay, so some of the most influential people that have lived in history went through various failures. Like who's that dude that invented the light bulb? Edison. Didn't he go through the whole something like 1,000 times? Like he went through 1,000 times trying to get the light bulb to work, and it didn't work until like the 1,000th time. The 1,000th. That's a hard word to say. Time. So look what he did, right? So I don't know if there's truth to that. Maybe he did 100 times something. The point is he kept trying, right? Or you look at like Henry Ford, who went bankrupt. I can't remember what it is, like 7 times or 9 times. I have to look it up. Henry Ford, who started Ford Motor Company, he failed like 9 times. He went bankrupt. Like, you think if you went bankrupt at least a couple times, you'd be like, I'm seriously not cut out for this. But really, that's not the right mindset. The mindset is, okay, I'm going to try again. If you have this. The thick enough skin for this. I'm going to try again, and I'm going to keep going until I get this thing right. So it's really, again, like coming back to yesterday, just perspective, right? How you choose to see things. Just quickly here, I had this with bodybuilding. It didn't help that when I first started in bodybuilding, I did exceptionally well. I basically won every show I did, like the overall, in every show I walked into. And then as soon as I got to national level, I just got obliterated. Like, it was just a different, I was now a small fish in a big pond, and it really affected me mentally, and I just wasn't used to it, and I started questioning my ability and everything, and but that was just part of the, that's what you have to go through. That is just part of the process. I think you get what I'm saying. 14 minutes in here, and I should probably end this. Don't be afraid to fail. It's normal. We all go through it. Some of the most influential people on this planet or in the past went through it many, 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 many times to achieve what they wanted to achieve, okay? So you just keep going and think it's part of the process. It's expected, okay? And you can apply that to any aspect of your life. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Make sure you book in your workouts. This is so important. You got 3 weeks to go. Not the best timing for this friggin' pandemic, right? not for at least for these measures, but it is what it is. Talk to y'all soon. See you guys.